proud to call Montgomery home, and together we can be the change.
If you're looking for quality seafood with friendly service, then the Fish Shack is the place for you. We're fast, fresh, and convenient, and ready to serve you today. You can order online and come in, or pick up your food curbside. We have outdoor seating as well. Need something to cool your taste buds? We have tasty daiquiris that you're sure to love. So come see us today at the Fish Shack in Byram, where we have great seafood and good daiquiris.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together we can be the change.
If you're looking for quality seafood with friendly service, then the Fish Shack is the place for you. We're fast, fresh, and convenient, and ready to serve you today. You can order online and come in, or pick up your food curbside. We have outdoor seating as well. Need something to cool your taste buds? We have tasty daiquiris that you're sure to love. So come see us today at the Fish Shack in Byram, where we have great seafood and good daiquiris.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together we can be the change.
Dragging your one leg.
Yeah, the other one sleep.
Good day, good people. Once again, you've got the grumpy old nerds in your ear. It is I, Uncle John, the ringmaster for this particular circus. We kind of short today. We're missing some people, but that's okay. The show goes on regardless. As always, making us look that much better, you got Auntie Nicole. What's up?
Hey, guys.
Her and her one good leg. We've also got from the planet of Brooklyn, Uncle Rod. What's going on, Doctor?
What's up, everybody?
And behind the ones and twos today, we've got Iron. What's going on, sir?
Hey, sir, how you doing? I'm good.
Another day in Paris. Woke up this morning, so it must be a good day.
You're above ground.
So,
Always.
right. Missing Uncle DJ and Uncle Percy and Uncle Roy, but wherever they are, I'm sure they're getting drunk and being ridiculous. So, without further ado,
in cell block 7.
Right. I would be remiss. And Roy gonna ask me if I'm coming to the studio. Not with your old 6L. I would be remiss if I did not step aside and not be remiss today because we got a lot of stuff to talk about as I watch my dog change his tail. So, starting off, we have a bunch of tasty treats from Marvel today. Well, yesterday, the trailer for yesterday or the day before, we had the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, the long-awaited trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. Iron, are we going to show it, or are we just going to dive right into it?
Talk about it for a couple seconds. I'll bring it up right now.
Sounds good. Can you spoil the trailer? Whatever. We spoil anything everywhere. Anyway.
Oh, here we go.
Absolutely.
Oh, here we go.
Hey.
So
That's what we do.
I was under the impression, well, not under the impression, but I knew that the Spider-Man No Way Home film would have like 30 characters in it, all competing for screen time. Of course, you've got Peter Parker and Mary Jane and Ned. But we also have Doctor Strange. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of Wong.
Mm-hmm.
And as witnessed by the trailer, we also are going to have multiversal Doc Ock, multiversal Green Goblin. And if the trades are to be believed, we'll also have Jamie Foxx's Electro. We'll also have Sandman. We'll also have the Lizard. That's 5. And I'm missing one because it's gonna be the Sinister Six versus Spider-Man. So
possibly Vulture.
We've got the Vulture. Thank you. We've got a gazillion people trying to beat up on Spider-Man. And I'm going to take the exact opposite approach and prove why the name of this show is what it is. I am a little worried. I'm not impressed.
Well, they've been talking about all of those people coming, they're really, really poorly kept secrets about all those different people, being contacted for the film. So we kind of knew what it was going to be about. We just didn't know exactly how to try to pull it off. And I think I know why you're worried.
Okay. Tell me why I'm worried. Let's see.
You're worried that there's going to be too many people in the film is going to take away from the overall direction and focus of the film.
Yes. Ever since there was I think it was a Batman film, or it's a DC film, a DC superhero film. And for whatever reason, they feel that they had to throw every villain in its canon in this particular film.
Yeah, it was a Batman movie.
Thank you.
I can't remember which one, but it had Mr. Freeze. Yeah.
Right.
Poison Ivy, Two-Face.
And George Clooney was Batman.
Right.
And it just, when you throw so many high-level characters into a film, to me, it kind of sounds a warning bell a little bit, because you're kind of just throwing these characters out there. Not only are you throwing a bunch of different characters out there, but the multiversal. And I didn't even mention the fact that the rumors of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being in this film too, to give us 3 Spider-Men to fight this gaggle of villains. Now you're talking about what? 6 and 3 is 9. Potentially,
usually
9 costume characters on the screen at the same time. Now, the only thing giving this any kind of redeeming value is because, okay, Avengers Endgame, we had damn near every hero in the Marvel universe on screen at the same time. Okay. And Marvel has built up enough equity where even their bad films aren't as bad as they could be. But
true.
Spider-Man, and in my, again, grumpy old nerd, growing up, Spider-Man was always the loner hero. You know what I mean? Spider-Man didn't always have so many people around him, so many costume heroes around him. Yes, Spider-Man had his extensive library of peripheral characters: Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, Ned, so on and so forth. Flash Thompson, J. Jonah Jameson. J. Jonah Jameson's in this film too. Maybe this is my remiss today. Okay, let's go with that. But it's just like so many characters, and I'm just afraid that stuff will get lost in the wash. That's just me.
Well, okay, I'm gonna let the number one Spider-Man fan go. Go, Auntie Nicole.
No, I mean, I guess in this case, because I can't say that Spider-Man is one of my favorites and so on, but what I guess I'm more enjoyed, as you guys learned in the last Grumpy Old Nerds, that I'm in the scary movies and all that kind of stuff. Furries be damned, I can't do those things. So, I mean, to sit there, and I'm looking forward to like the Doctor Strange, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to all of that. And that's what got me kind of excited about seeing this, because I kind of actually liked his storyline quite a bit when he came out with the Doctor Strange movie. And I just think the whole idea, you know, like the fact that Peter Parker actually gets found out, you know, his identity is out there per the trailer. I'm like, okay, this could turn this into a little bit of a dangerous type of, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm actually looking forward to. I actually like the idea of seeing some of the characters that we've been seeing in all these movies finally kind of appearing on screen, even if it's just for a moment. Now, hopefully they're not trying to write a lot of dialogue for everybody, you know what I'm saying? And so on. But then again, you know, there's going to be people that like certain villains and others, and they don't like others. So it could be a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? Because then maybe somebody that you might enjoy don't get the screen time that they deserve, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully they don't make it into something that's so rushed looking, because when you have that many people on screen, that ends up doing a lot of plot holes and a lot of different, you know, things that ends up leaving you like, okay, you know, like, where's that going? And then as you've seen, like even in Wanda, they'll touch on certain things and then just never come back to it, you know, and you're just like, well, what about that? Why didn't they, you know? So that's the kind of thing that makes that a little scary. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing some of the characters on there, because that's what the whole thing is now with this whole Marvel universe. They bring these characters in, and then finally you get to see them on screen again after waiting so long to see them. So hopefully it'll be some kind of cohesiveness to it, but you know, there's that scary part that they leave a lot of plot holes open.
Right.
Real quick, Rod. So you're a horror fan, Auntie Nicole. So the director of this film probably gets you super excited because Sam Raimi is coming back.
Yes.
And he's the horror film master. So
that's
I mean,
so you're gonna get some elements of horror in there.
That's the reason I think why I kind of enjoyed the trailer so much, because you can see a little bit of it in the trailer. And I mean,
get you some Raimi.
You know, Evil Dead and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Those were campy. You know what I'm saying, and stuff and everything. But you know, as years going by, you start seeing things. You know, like one of my favorite movies is Cabin in the Woods, believe it or not. And that was when, you know what I'm saying, that was before Thor was Thor. You know what I'm saying? And so on, but it kind of brought a lot of notoriety to him in the movie. So yeah, I mean, hopefully they can interject it. I know they got to still kind of tone it down because of the kiddos, you know, and everything. That's the one thing that still kind of bugs me a little bit with some of these things. Cause I mean, nowadays parents don't seem to care what their kids watch anymore. So you might as well make the movie, you know what I'm saying?
But they care if they wear masks or not. But don't get me started. I'm sorry.
You know, I know, right? You know,
go ahead.
But I am excited because of that. Hopefully they bring some good effects, of course, and everything. But yeah, that is exciting to me, actually.
Okay. I know I'm really excited to see it because I'm kind of like you, Uncle John. I feel Marvel has gained enough equity with me where, you know, I'm cool. I can trust them to do what they need to do with this movie. Even though you're having a whole lot of different elements from different places coming in, I look at it as a Spider-Man comic with the Sinister Six in it. The writers and the artists do a really good job of balancing the appearances of the characters with the story. So I feel like if they can do it in a comic, they should be able to do it in a film. So, you know, fingers crossed.
Right.
I'm with them on this one. All right. Now, as far as having Doctor Strange in it, I think that's a really good addition because what it looks like, well, I don't know. Is the trailer ready?
I think he said, yeah, in the.
All right, Ron, we good with the trailer?
Yep, I'm ready.
Oh,
okay, because there's some stuff I want to mention after the trailer.
Sure. Come on, let's roll them out, Ron. As I drink my moonshine.
Right, I was about to say, what is that? Everclear?
Get them brain cells moving.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
Stop, come on.
Yes, my spider.
Here we have Peter and MJ on the roof.
Can we just stay up here all day? It is so crazy.
Discussing their love.
That's right, folks.
Here's MJ swinging with Peter through the city, terrified.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio.
Video screens of him being public enemy number one.
Right.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
Oh, you know who the speculation is? With that
you can hear it now.
Sure.
I can hear it.
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man? Now everybody knows. But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
Okay, well we're not in the film.
Okay.
At least not that I know of.
Oh, here we go. Here we're back.
Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
When Mysterio revealed my identity, my entire life got screwed up. I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Strange. Don't cast that spell. It's too dangerous. Fine. I won't. The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone? Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my God, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really know.
Stop talking!
Stephen Strange doing Stephen Strange thing.
What just happened?
We tampered with the stability of space-time. Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
In a world.
The problem is you trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
Happy gonna die.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter. Okay. Well, Uncle Rod,
you ever wondered what
doing your best, Nicole, and taking notes on this? Let's break this down, shall we?
All right. Well, in the comic books, there's a really famous plot line called One More Day, in which it takes place after Civil War. And in the comics series, the comic event Civil War, Peter Parker reveals to the world that he's Spider-Man. After Tony Stark put a battery in his back and gassed him up to reveal his secret identity to the world. And so afterwards, he ended up, gaining a whole lot of problems because people like Doc Ock were like, I can't believe I was getting done in by a teenage boy all these years.
Right.
So he destroyed his television once he found out. So, all the rest of his rogues gallery of villains was like, a teenager, get the hell out of here. We're going to do something about this. So, and his family ended up being in danger as well. So what he decided to do was make a deal with Mephisto to make sure that everyone forgot that he was Spider-Man. So that happens in the comics. And that was really controversial because a lot of people wanted it to, remain common knowledge, and other people saw how it was going when people knew he was Spider-Man and didn't like it. So that particular event was very, very controversial. So it seems like we're kind of doing the same things with this trailer, except instead of Mephisto, at least so far, it's Stephen Strange doing the deed for Peter. But, as we kind of talked about before, Strange doesn't quite seem himself, because he's usually very serious and he talks about the cost of magic and how much it really costs in terms of your sanity, your life, or what have you, to actually perform magic. And in the scenes here in the trailer, he seems very cavalier about using his abilities. And so, which leads me to believe that, something else is up.
So before we go any further, Uncle Percy has joined us. Uncle Percy, what's happening, man?
Niggas and flies. Niggas and flies.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, so there's a whole bunch of shit, basically. All right.
Yep.
Okay. He's confusing the hell out of me right now because he's wearing a Steelers shirt and he's got a bear throw on his couch behind him.
Let me tell you something about Uncle Percy. Uncle Percy's a man of many hats. And Uncle Percy I understand the Bears. I've never understood the Steelers thing. I'm going to let him have his thing. That's Uncle Percy. Because, it's Uncle Percy. But
I have to like the Steelers. My friend's son plays for them.
What do you mean? Why you don't need an explanation? No, you don't. No, you don't.
And he's fussing at his son right now. So,
oh my God.
Of course, that's how.
Okay. Is it wrong to be a Steelers and a Bears fan?
Yes.
Can I have an AFC team and an NFC team? Is there something wrong with that?
Hey man, you can do what you want. I was just confused because I thought you was like a diehard Bears fan.
I am a diehard Bears fan. I'm a diehard.
See, you could have.
See,
Uncle Percy, you need somebody like me who used to, run around Pittsburgh. You could have said that's a Clarendon Bears towel.
Oh my. Okay. So Uncle Percy, Spider-Man, No Way Home. What do you think about the trailer?
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be real good. I think it's gonna, once again.
You saw the Sam Raimi suit?
Will you stop? I'm talking.
Well, I was asking a question. Dude, there's so much that happens.
Hold on one second.
Oh my gosh.
Lord, he's about to go beat the boy.
Oh, please. Didn't we just see something come across the screen about the 18-year-old?
Kicking the kids out of the house at 18.
Oh my gosh.
Don't beat the boy. Don't beat my nephew, man. Oh, so we get the young Thundercat in here today. Okay.
In the booty chair.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not in the mood today to talk. Wow. Niggas and flies.
So he's gonna take over.
Wow.
I have homework to do. I heard
you're a senior. Don't worry about it. Go
That's
ahead.
not how that works.
You're a senior. Don't
All
worry.
right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is Little Percy. Although that boy like 6'7". So Little Percy, what'd you think about the new Spider-Man trailer?
Oh, it looks amazing. I mean, not only was it like, did they take like the stuff like the people from Sam Raimi, they took also like the Venom suit. I was so hyped when I saw that. They only showed it for a couple seconds, but like it was them mentioning Green Goblin. It was the fact that it sounded like the original Flash Thompson said, "Be careful what you wish for, Parker." Insane. I nearly screamed.
Okay, so
like a man, of course.
Absolutely.
With some bass in your voice. That would have been yeah, right. Okay, so let's talk about this Mephisto thing, okay? Because I'm so tired of hearing Mephisto's name.
I can't wait.
And y'all know how I feel about WandaVision.
I hope he shows up in there. I really do, because that would at least satisfy how many fans of Marvel just to be able to just get a glimpse of Mephisto. Okay,
and then say, "See, I told you."
We've been talking about Mephisto for the last 4 years now. Okay, and they just need a glimpse. If they do it, I'm here to tell you, Marvel stock is going up quadruple. They just need one view of Mephisto.
Look, I'm
Mephisto
so sick
wearing
of
a t-shirt
Mephisto.
says, "Here I am, John."
I want Mephisto to show up and say, "John, it's me." Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And Wanda be right
Okay.
next to him saying, "See, Uncle John."
but little Percy, you don't think that all these different characters, you don't think that's too many people at the same time?
For a movie? For a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Nah. I don't know. Personally, I love the Sam Raimi movies. They're my favorite Spider-Man movies. So
really?
Yeah,
Come here.
Ow. Yeah, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, don't get me wrong, but Tobey Maguire was the best in my opinion.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
What, son, what? Yeah, you young. That's okay.
What? Tobey Maguire, I think, embodies more of what Spider-Man was than Tom Holland does. Like, as...
Do tell.
Wait, what?
He said, "Do tell."
Oh, because Tobey Maguire, especially like the actor himself during that time, he had the look of Spider-Man. He really did look nerdy. Tom Holland doesn't. Tom Holland looks like they took Andrew Garfield and kind of just was like, "Yo, go to like JCPenney and Old Navy, throw on some like plaid and call it a day." And I mean, it worked. I mean, he's not like he's not as bad as Andrew Garfield was. He's definitely like good for him, but I just think Tobey Maguire was a lot better at it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that went somewhere I wasn't expecting. All right. So, and you know that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are supposed to be showing up in this too.
I heard that, but I wasn't sure if that was actually true.
Yeah, well, I mean, and okay, so here's another reason for my trepidation, because Tobey Maguire was the last to sign on, and the wild speculation was that initially his part wasn't supposed to be that big, but he said, "I'm not going to sign on for like some cameo. I want like lines. I want to be one of the featured players." So now you've got competing Spider-Men in all of their non-acting glory, and you've got them against the Six. And I haven't even talked about J. Jonah Jameson or MJ or Ned, or that's like over 12 characters that are going to need some type of screen time to further the plot line. So that's why I'm a little scared about this. It's just me.
I have no problem with that. I mean, I feel like to do that, they're gonna have to make the movie kind of long. And I'm gonna be real with you, 2 hours, 2.5 hours of Spider-Man, I would have no problem with it.
I wouldn't either.
Well, see now, I'm an old man. After the first hour and a half, I gotta use the bathroom, and this ain't coming on Disney Plus, so I can't pause it.
Hey man, Endgame was almost 3 hours, and I didn't even feel it.
I didn't either. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Just make sure you get your picnic tea bag.
I have to do this like a prostate exam and not eat or drink anything 24 hours before the show. So, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'm the only one who's really not looking forward to it, but a little scared about what's about to happen. But I can live with that.
Get a small soda and sip it. Get a small soda and sip it throughout the movie.
All right. Well, before we go any further down that particular rabbit hole. Oh, wait. No, we talked about it. Before we go any further down that rabbit hole, justice for LeVar Burton. So apparently Jeopardy.
Oh, okay. You scared me for a minute.
No.
He was like, "Okay, is this the Reading Rainbow?" That
right. I was like, "Oh man."
Hey, boy, get your smelly socks. Get your smelly socks out of here.
They're not smelly.
Yo, man, look, my whole basement is funky now. Go put those in the washing machine.
Diary of a Teenage Boy.
Problems.
LeVar Burton, unfortunately, originally was not chosen as the new host of Jeopardy, but the very white man, executive producer one of the executive producers of the show, was chosen after they had all these people come in and run their little trial shows.
Right.
He decided on the white
himself.
man. Yeah.
He was a producer of
right.
the show
Yeah.
and said, I'll just pick myself.
That's what he did.
But then suddenly we get, not only was he chosen, but then Blossom was chosen as like a host for special episodes or whatever.
But she's like an actual intellectual. She's like legit.
Right.
You know,
Maya Bialik.
Yes, she's
Not
legit.
Blossom.
I said what I said.
You did say that.
I enjoyed that show, sir. So
more recently, she Amy Farrah Fowler from The Big Bang Theory, but her name is Maya Bialik.
Yes.
Her name is.
You're gonna have people up here looking for Blossom, bro.
Hey, Big Bang Theory was my show. That spoke to me, man.
When I was a kid and we would watch Facts of Life, Kim Fields wasn't Kim Fields. My mother called Kim Fields Tootie. No matter where she went, no matter how old she was, my mother called her Tootie. No, I don't care how old she is or where she is. Maya Bialik is Blossom.
Absolutely.
So after the white man chose himself to be the host of Jeopardy, now all of a sudden we hear about how much of an ass he is, how he treated some guests and how he conducted himself around the set. So Mr. White Man was asked to exit, still remain executive producer, but Mr. White Man was asked to step down. So now have they decided who they want?
No, actually,
Yeah, show that motherfucker. Aaron Rodgers.
I think that's who they really wanted. I think in the beginning that's who they really wanted. But he was like, unless you can work with my schedule, I can't do it.
Yeah, and
you know what's so funny is that you said that this other guy was a big douchebag, but it's so funny that they wanted Aaron Rodgers so bad. He's just as big of a jerk.
Yeah, he's just as douchey as Mr. White Man. You're right. You're right.
But they did state that supposedly he stepped down himself. Like nobody asked him to, but he said, according to him, and okay, this is what I was hearing. He stated that he did not want to take the attention off of the show and on him, so he chose to step down, even though he's keeping his producing, job and so on like that.
Let me go to Twitter and find out he got some racist tweets.
Yes, he does actually. Yeah.
What a surprise!
And as a matter of fact, because he helped with The Price is Right way back when, and
one of the Price is Right girls was
one of the Price is White girls was black. And he kept making passes at her, but come to find out, they was doing it to all the women pretty much on the show. They had one woman who actually ended up taking them to court and won $2 million, but it wasn't the black chick, of course. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that one that won the money, she at one point she was pregnant, and she felt like there was some kind of issue with that and everything. Yeah, she was pregnant on this, however they did that. And I think maybe that's kind of why she won, you know what I'm saying? Because she had something in addition to just saying she was sexually harassed or what have you. But the black girls explained that how they, think about it. It's just like anything else. Not enough screen time, you know what I'm saying? Everything. But then behind the scenes, you're good enough to try to get at you, you know what I'm saying? Type of thing, but not, sit there and let
not get on screen.
Absolutely. And do your job like you're supposed to. So, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff coming out. And I didn't even know about this guy, to be quite honest with you, until I heard about all this stuff. And it's just because it's one of those things you don't pay attention. You look at movies, TV shows, things, whatever. You're not really paying attention so much to, unless it's a director or somebody you actually know. You know what I'm saying?
And he's a behind the scenes producer. So why would you hear him?
All of a sudden, you're hearing all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, let me see. Who's this dude? You know what I'm saying? And then you just see the floodgates of just all kinds of stuff that come out from this guy. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. Everybody deserves a second chance or whatever like that. But it ain't like this dude was hurting. You know what I'm saying? He's still been very successful in the game for a long time. But yet, nobody has brought anything to light until now. And it's like, it's one of those things where supposedly, I think he done pissed somebody off. So this got out. Because think about it, this was to me anyway, a secret. I didn't know nothing about it really, except for the black girl on The Price is Right. I did hear about that a long time ago, but I never knew who it was that, you know what I'm saying, caused her some grief and so on like that. So,
well, this guy's trying to come from behind the camera now. So here we go. There's some people who don't want that. based on if everything they're saying about this guy is true, I don't want him as the host of the damn show either. Let him stay behind the camera.
You got people that's actual intellectuals that can actually think about it. LeVar Burton hosted the Reading Rainbow and all kinds of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, would have been, that shows his actually somewhat accreditation of being able to do something like this. You know, Alex Trebek fell into a category where it was more, you know, he was kind of, there was the anonymity. There was nothing about him that you ever heard. You know, he just was that guy, you know what I'm saying? But now you got people that's coming out, and I'm like, okay, so you had this whole parade of people, everyone better than the next to some degree, but then yet this guy becomes the thing, somebody you don't even think about twice. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the whole thing was that he made the decision.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like he made the decision to come from behind the camera and say, "I'll do it." And what?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Who would have thought that?
I'm sorry to say the pun. No, sorry to say the pun, but you know the price was right because you know he wasn't charging what Aaron Rodgers and anybody else was going to charge. But Alex Trebek,
but there might be something to that too.
Yeah, because he's probably making like close to $20 million a year or something like that, or more, doing Jeopardy.
As a host.
You got to remember, Alex Trebek been around for. I mean, Alex Trebek is a true game show host.
Right.
He started he did Password, he did the $1 Million Pyramid at one point, and then for him to fall into Jeopardy was just perfect. And then he just became It's just like Pat Sajak. You're not going to be able to find another Pat Sajak with Wheel of Fortune now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
okay, but that's a huge difference from Pat Sajak to Alex Trebek.
Well,
Alex Trebek is a pimp. We just didn't know it. Alex Trebek.
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
He's a Canadian. Royal Mounties.
I'm just, I mean, you think like Bob Barker. I mean, there's Bob Barker, and then it's Alex Trebek, and then who's behind him? It's Pat Sajak.
I don't know
even Bob got caught out there with the hands too. So I mean,
yeah.
What is it with these old dudes trying to put their hands on y'all?
Look, if I wasn't afraid I'd get caught, no, I'm not going to go there. So
I was about to say, man. No, dog, you get killed in your sleep. Don't even try to act like that.
These words and thoughts is not the ideals of the station.
But I mean, we're in a situation now in our society where back in the day it was accepted and almost expected.
Think about
now,
Richard Dawson. He would not get away with that BS
Richard
today.
Dawson was getting some sugar every show.
And go down the line.
You get some sugar from everybody.
Go down the line, everyone.
Hey, on that one, I'm getting a drink.
Alex Trebek, I don't know how he didn't get some kind of STD.
That's what I said that years ago.
Same problem.
I said that years ago.
Chuck Willery, because Chuck Willery was the original host for the Wheel of Fortune until he got jammed up.
See,
was he really?
Yeah. Before Love Connection, he was Wheel of Fortune.
What was my man?
Wheel of Fortune.
What was my man name on?
Jammed up, and then all of a sudden he ended up on Love Connection.
Well, remember Love Connection, they had that dude who was a serial killer on Love Connection, so it just goes to show they don't be doing they homework sometime too. So
yeah,
What'd you say, Aaron?
Who was the one from? I want to say he hosted Family Feud for a little bit too.
Richard Dawson.
That's Richard Dawson. Well, he was on the show for a long time.
Yeah.
And then remember, what's his name? Steve Harvey started doing it, I guess, now or whatever like that before they kicked him off.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Harvey does it.
With all his zoot suits.
But here's the thing. It was accepted and expected back in the day. And now where we are as a society, people are speaking up like, no, I don't want your nasty, crusty lips or hands on me. And that's just like back in the day. And here's the funny thing about it. Richard Dawson did it. And we were just like, he's just being Richard Dawson. None of us were like, good Lord, that man got slob on every woman who comes across that set.
Right down the line.
Down the line, everybody.
Right.
But okay, so here's the thing. I've heard a lot about. Some people say that they thought LeVar Burton actually didn't do a very good job during his hosting stint on Jeopardy. I didn't see the show. I'm not a fan of Jeopardy. I watch regularly. So, but I think the fan reaction is that they want LeVar Burton to host. I think as a casual fan, I may watch Jeopardy every now and again. I don't see why LeVar Burton shouldn't host. Like you said, he's an academic and he's got enough, charisma. I don't see why. And that goes, and casting him goes a long way towards putting a little diversity behind some of these game shows that are on TV. Absolutely. So, and keep Blossom hosting the weekend edition and then the special episodes or whatever, which also helps. But I mean, why not? LeVar Burton, he's a good looking guy, a smart enough guy. I don't understand why there would be an issue having him.
Right. I want Pootie Tang.
You got to be able to pronounce the words, man.
Hey, it would be a good show.
It would be.
You know what? No, you know what they need to do? They need to bring old boy from what's his name from the one who plays Sean Connery. Let him host the show on Saturday when they do the Jeopardy on Saturday Night Live. The one who plays Sean Connery. That should be on there.
Can I tell you those Saturday Night Live parodies of Jeopardy are one of my favorite things on that show, and it would tickle me. Will Ferrell as Trebek and Sean Connery just out there turning everything into a sexual innuendo. I it was funny as hell. And
they could have put my boy Keaton Thompson in, and they could have turned it into a "What's Up with That" episode on Jeopardy. That's one of my favorite skits on SNL. I'm sorry, they don't do it. Yes, what's up with that? Oh my gosh, really? I loved it.
I like Keaton Thompson. What's up with that? I have to admit I like it. Okay, so before we go any further down that particular rabbit hole, What If came out today.
Yep.
Did we all get a chance to see it?
I did actually.
I did.
What?
I did. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
In the middle of the daggone week.
Okay.
I think this is the only episode where right in the middle I knew who was actually killing them all.
I did.
You did?
I didn't. I didn't.
Because the minute they showed the needle and said it's like a bullet came out, I said, okay, it got to be Ant-Man.
Yeah.
It has
but
to be
Milk is chilling. You know we spoil stuff here. And we don't give a damn about your feelings. So we spoil shit. Just so you know. In terms of the episodes, I like this episode all the way up until the end. And I'm talking about the very end. And then it just kind of fell flat for me. I like how they did it. And like you said, Percy, I kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
But I like the setup, and it was different from the very first episode, where the very first episode with Captain Carter, it was just kind of a rehashing, except Carter was the superhero.
Right.
The second episode where T'Challa was Star-Lord, I thought that was excellent, and I thought from start to finish.
I actually finally got to see it. It's beautiful. I love it.
And it may have been like, okay, Chadwick Boseman, but that episode
almost cried at the end at the credits, by the way.
Yeah. That
was heavy.
From start to finish, that episode was about as good as you can get. And then this episode, it was on its way. And then at the end, I just kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah.
One thing that I like about that episode was that they were able to pull the original lines from the movies when they had those scenes from those films.
Right.
And I thought that was a really cool touch.
But I thought it was hilarious. They kept talking about Thor and his hair and how he was just beautiful. I'm like, good grief. And he smells like lavender. I'm like, great.
Right.
Yeah, them fanboying over Thor. I was just like, okay, getting a little sexual here. He smells like lavender.
I think each episode was the same. I think each episode pulled a bit from each movie, because you could tell, like for Captain America, they pulled something from the movie. From Garden of the Galaxy, they pull stuff from the movie, and especially this last one. They tried to tie in like two or three different
films. Yeah.
The only thing was missing. The only thing was missing was WandaVision. If they had probably brought in WandaVision, oh, it'd have been on.
Look at Mark. Look at John's face.
We was close. They was this close to bringing one. John, now you know that was this close to bringing one.
You're just trying to piss me off.
Uncle Percy is trolling hard right now. He is trolling like a MF.
One of our viewers, Brian Hudson, thank you for watching, Brian, by the way, is giving me the side eye. I'm sure he's giving me the side eye because I'm just kind of giving this last episode okay review. But man, the whole Captain Marvel thing and bringing her in and, teasing us with Captain America, I was just like, yeah, I didn't need that. I was happy with the Avengers being dead.
But I think the whole point, like what Furry said at the end is like, even though we had this initiative, we didn't get it off the ground. The purpose was, and they kept coming back to hope. And even though they killed off majority of them, you still had two left. You had Captain Marvel and you had Captain America. So the Avenger initiative can still move forward. I think that was the whole point of it. Like, yeah.
I didn't like the ending. At all. Sorry.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. It's something about having Loki take over the world, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. Because I didn't feel it, and such. But I think that was the whole point. I think that's what the whole point was, is like, yeah, because you got to remember the Avengers, that was the whole point what Loki was trying to do in the first place. He was trying to take over the world. It's just this time he has taken over the world, but the Avengers wasn't there to stop him. So now Fury is actually trying to find more people to be Avengers. So you have Captain Marvel, and he's going to wake up Captain America. So who else is out there? And I think that's the whole. Okay, this didn't work out because these guys are dead. So now I got to find Star-Lord and the Guardians of the Galaxy or whoever he needs to find to fill in as the new Avengers. He just needs to get the people from Wakanda. That's really all he needs.
Right. I mean, we don't know who Black Panther is in this universe.
Right.
But still around. So I think that was the whole point behind this episode, is just saying that, yeah, I hate to say this. It's what John and Rod been saying for a minute. You don't have to have these characters. You can get these new characters to come in and take over. Jesus Christ.
Good job, Uncle Percy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You recognize Drake.
Oh my goodness.
But okay, so I mean, just breaking down the episode, I thought it stayed true because a lot of times, okay.
Yes, Aeon, I agree with you. Sorry.
What'd they say?
But Loki taking over the world, because it's like after watching Loki, you realize that Loki, the only purpose Loki did anything was because he just wanted to feel loved or whatever, because he felt like a reject, you know what I'm saying? And it just I don't know. It just.
Yeah, but in the original Avengers movie, he was trying to take over Earth. I mean,
I get you. I understand. I don't know. I just kind of didn't feel it for some reason, the ending. It's weird.
Was he trying to take over Earth, or was he trying to get the Tesseract for Thanos? I thought.
Well, remember when
one and the same.
When, what's his name? Hulk was beating him up and everything. That was when he came with all the minions and everything onto Earth and such like that and stuff in Avengers. But my thing is just that I guess after seeing who he is as a character, especially through the show Loki and so on, it's like it I guess Loki softened him a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. It made him a little bit, not so much like the ogre that we saw him as. And so maybe that's why I'm having a hard time seeing it, you know what I'm saying? But
that had been a criticism for a long time, because they said Loki made such a radical shift from how he was in the first Avengers film to all the films afterwards. People were saying, this guy was, a megalomaniac and bent on taking over the world.
Right.
And now then he becomes, this more mischievous guy who, you can't really see trying to take over a planet and we're trying to rule its people.
Because he just seems like a screw up. He just
so you got to remember now where where What If is taking place at is before all this went down, before Loki, before the show and everything. This is like the beginning again. And that's where I'm getting at. Like, yeah, I understand that Nicole, since watching the show, yeah, he's a little soft now. He's a little different now. But before that,
a little.
Well, I'm just saying now.
I got you, Uncle Percy.
But before that, he was a crazy. I mean, and think about it. This episode was true Loki. I mean, think about it. He tricked him into. He went along with her and everything, but then at the end, he turned around and became Loki. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here a while. How long? I'm gonna take over this planet. Boom. There you go. Right. That's Loki. Yeah, Loki. So now, like I said, Fury, since the original Avengers are dead except for 2. If you add Captain Marvel as one of the original Avengers, but I don't want to go there. Now they gotta find other people out there who can help save the world. I
would have liked it more if they had like a showing him getting those new Avengers.
Right.
And having that team assembled. I would have liked it more at the end. But I get it, time constraints, stuff like that.
I have a question. So looking at all these episodes and so on, and you have the Watcher at the end, kind of like narrating all these episodes and such. So are we to think that that's King?
The Watcher?
No.
What did you say? You think the Watcher is Kang? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like for some reason, because I mean, technically, isn't that the whole idea? Like if I'm looking at it correctly, like the whole image that they give and so on. I don't know. Because the only person that I can think of that's doing this whole universe thing, that's able to change things. I mean, I was under the impression King was the one that was kind of like leading everybody into certain things. So I don't know. Maybe I'm way off base here.
Well,
you're off base with that one.
Yeah, in the original comic, the Watcher is the person who guides the reader through the story. So they're pretty much keeping those are the bald-headed
right things. Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yep. They're keeping it in line with the comics with the show, pretty much. That's why they keep having a silhouette of the Watcher in the background. It's kind of cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm what if the first episode was really the only miss for me? The other two were solid. Mm-hmm. The T'Challa episode was fantastic. This episode was still better than anything DC's putting out there. So before we go any further down that rabbit hole.
Oh
man. Speaking of Marvel, and we're very Marvel heavy today. We're Marvel heavy all the time. Another Eternals trailer came out. I'm just not excited. I'm not.
I haven't even seen it yet, but I can't say
they're gonna have to do a really good job with this movie to get people interested and liking the Eternals, like people like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because believe it or not, the Guardians of the Galaxy were more obscure than the freaking Eternals in the comics.
Right. Exactly. So
Chloe Zhao is gonna have to do a really good job with this film. Hopefully she did.
It's a case where, and it's such a plot hole too, because you've had all these cataclysmic events, and the Eternals literally have been sitting there like, oh, Thanos is about to obliterate half of humanity. Okay, well we'll wait.
They kind of explain that. They begin to explain that in the trailer because someone actually brought that up in the trailer.
They brought it up in the trailer, and that's thin ice, because if someone, in my opinion, if I'm an Eternal, if someone is about to obliterate half of reality, not just humanity, reality,
and not just my cousin,
I think I might have to step in. I'm just saying, if I've got superpowers and Thanos is about to wipe out half everything, I'm saying, that's probably not the natural order of things, and I need to do something about this. But maybe they go deeper into it in the film. But what also is another strike against it is it's sandwiched in between Shang-Chi and Spider-Man. So we've got this film that, for all intents and purposes, from the reviews that I've read, is another Marvel masterpiece. And you've got Spider-Man, which everybody's waiting for. Everybody likes Spider-Man, whether it be Tobey Maguire.
Hey, their placement was not an accident. Their placement in that order was not an accident.
Right.
Right. So it's just like, okay, so I think that whatever they do with Eternals, like you said, Rod, that's got to knock it out of the park, and it has to be something that we've never seen before. Because right now, I think that in terms of high points, we're looking at Shang-Chi, we're looking at Spider-Man, and then Eternals is down here somewhere.
Right now.
Can I just say one thing? I really appreciated the comedy with Thanos in the T'Challa episode of What If, because when you hear them talking about what he's doing and they keep saying genocide, he was like, at the end, he's like, it wasn't really genocide. It was like, it was random. It was random, and I thought that was actually, I found that to be hilarious, honestly, because it wasn't personal.
Yeah. But even though he didn't go through with it, he still believes his plan would have worked.
Right.
That was great, actually. So they did good.
Well, that going back, do we believe that T'Challa would have been able to just talk him out of doing it?
He was softer here. They kept mentioning him as a gardener. So, he's gardening. Look at this. Nebula was part, actually seemed to care, and everything. I mean, his mental position seemed to be a little different when you watch What If. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what he said. He said he talked him out of it. He actually literally talked him out of doing what he wanted to do. And whatever T'Challa told him, he believed it. And he
told them they were able to save planets, and people wouldn't have to starve. So
So
he didn't necessarily have to go through his plan.
Which was the essence that they were trying to get anyway, which would heal planets and so on like that anyway. So that makes all the sense. I thought it was great.
Now let's look back at this, because I'm putting too much thought into this, but if you wipe out half of existence, meaning half of all living things, aren't plants and animals that we eat living things as well? So even though you're wiping out half of existence, you're wiping out half of our food sources as well.
But I thought it was specific.
The math is not right.
I thought it was specific.
I didn't see no
of like us or what have you. So say for instance,
it's just like it seemed like it was just like mammals or
persons or
not necessarily plants or animals
or whatever planet it was. Saying whatever was the drain of the source of whatever it is that's out there. So if there's 5 of us and there's one plant, then half of us had to go in order for the other half to be able to feed. So that's how I took it, was people.
I didn't see no cows.
But we don't know. But okay, so you're talking about Earth. I'm talking about the rest of the unknown and known universe where there are no Earthlings.
But I'm thinking whatever's considered our version
where
of
monkeys are, Planet of the Apes.
Right.
So you're wiping out half of them. Well, are you also what? So how does that discern? How does the Infinity Gauntlet discern who is the top of the food chain for each planet or each galaxy?
I guess whoever was taking the resources, whoever's pulling from the resources, maybe.
Remember, it's the Infinity Gauntlet. It's whatever he believes. It's whatever he thinks. Remember, it's the Infinity Gauntlet. So however he thought about it, that was it.
Internals.
And think about it, Nebula, that was the whole point of them going in there and getting that little essence thing that they were stealing, because that in and of itself was to heal whatever planets that were suffering. So think about it, they somehow was able to talk him out of killing half of whatever, and then now go and get this essence of whatever it is and now take it to planets and heal those planets. So,
but again, now going back to, and Percy just brought this up too. Half of existence means half of Eternals too, right? Because Eternals would be the very
way I understand.
You would think, but those people who were snapped out of existence didn't die either. They just ceased to exist.
Right.
The reason I bring this up, number one, I'm just being a troll, so don't pay me any attention. But number two, we started out talking about Eternals and went right back to something else. Eternals couldn't even hold our attention for 5 minutes before we started talking about something else. How in the hell are we supposed to sit there for 2 hours and watch a movie about this shit?
Oh man.
Do you think it's going to be bad as what was the TV show?
WandaVision.
Inhumans?
Yeah.
Inhumans? Oh wow. Oh man.
The Inhumans was bad.
I'd almost block that out.
We need Gus on the show to talk about the Inhumans because he loved that show, and I would give him about that every week because
I can't rock with that.
Yeah,
between the writing, between the special effects, between the costumes, Medusa, who has a flaming red hair that is animated, they shaved her head in the second episode because
save money.
Did they run out of money?
Save money on special effects.
Wow.
Come on now. So,
man.
Percy, to answer your question, I pray to God that this isn't as bad as the Inhumans. Yeah. But because it's a movie and because Marvel now has started some traction just in terms of their quality of product has gotten progressively better, I think that Eternals will look better at least. But do I care about the Eternals?
It depends where they fit. It all comes down where they fit in all of
I don't think you're gonna know till after.
Yeah.
Because
but these trailers are not inspiring at all.
But like you said, Rod, they're strategically placed. So everything leads up to Doctor Strange. No matter what we see, no matter what we do, everything leads up to Doctor Strange.
Right.
So,
which would lead to another Avengers film down the road somewhere.
Right.
Somewhere multiverse.
So basically, you're saying we're going to see Eternals just to see how they set up another film.
Yep.
Well, some of the middle films in the MCU are like that as well.
Yeah.
Like Ant-Man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. Captain America was straight set up. That film was terrible.
Yeah. Captain Marvel.
Okay, so
you didn't like Captain America? Wow, really?
Captain Marvel? Oh, Captain Marvel.
America. I thought you said Captain America.
Oh no, I like.
Yeah, he did. I said Captain Marvel.
Okay. Yeah, Captain Marvel was
Captain Marvel
the greatest. Yeah, it was the greatest.
And look, here's the funny thing that Marvel does. Marvel will put multiple characters in a film if they're worried about the character. They learned from the first Thor film. They were like, nah. Even at first 2 Thor films, they were like, you know what? Let's put the Hulk in this next Thor film.
Right.
Solid gold.
Because they introduced Hawkeye in the first Thor film.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's why they will be having all these other characters with Captain Marvel in her next film, because they recognize that Brie Larson is not doing a very good job portraying that hero. And how they've written Captain Marvel is pretty much a sucky character in the films.
That was just a feminist film anyway. So
yeah, I mean, in the comic book, she rocks, but in the film, it just wasn't hitting. It's bad when I'm looking more at Samuel L. Jackson than Brie Larson. So,
right.
Let's hope Eternals doesn't suck. But before we go any further down that rabbit hole, so I'm not a fan of Cowboy Bebop, the anime series.
What?
I'm sorry. Yeah. But I am looking forward to the live action show just because it looks like something that I would be interested in. But Percy, you're telling me I need to go back and watch the cartoon.
Dude, you got to watch the cartoon. It's one of the best things I would say Adult Swim ever introduced me to.
I never saw it.
Really?
It's very interesting. And then the Bebop movie is very, very good. It's very well done.
So I will say I've heard a lot about, when people trashing Joss Whedon, they say that his plot for Firefly was stolen straight from Cowboy Bebop.
I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it.
Poor Joss Whedon. At one point, he was like the king of all media. Now he's a terrible human being. Poor Joss. He's just out there being freaky and nasty.
But the thing about Cowboy Bebop is that nobody would have known about. I would have not known about Cowboy Bebop unless they made the American version of it, because it was all over in Japan. Everybody knew about it over in Japan, but nobody knew about it over here. And then when Adult Swim brought it over, and everybody's sitting back like, "Oh snap! Where did this come from? How long this been out?" I mean, it's just like with because Spike is the man. I don't care what anybody say. That brother is. it's his storyline that kind of throws everything off, because you're trying to figure out, is he really a good guy or he's really a bad guy? Because he's done some terrible things, but you have to see what direction he goes to. He always tries to be the good guy, but you know he has some demons. He has some straight up demons, and they slowly but surely try to explain to you what he used to do back in the day. But the minute they start explaining it, they cut back to him trying to be a good guy. And then of course the other characters, basically help him out. And really the whole show is really around Spike. So
Spike is the main character who John Cho will be portraying.
Right. Spike is the main character. Dang, I forgot the
Is there a black man in the show too?
No. Well, in the comic books, in the TV series, no. There's not a black guy. Now they probably damn, I forget the guy's name. They could make him a black character. His partner flies the spaceship. Oh geez, I can't.
Is he a big like muscular guy?
Yeah.
Okay, because in the live action, it's a big muscular black man.
Yeah, so that's what they playing. That's what he's playing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for, because I'm a John Cho fan, so I'm looking forward to seeing him be a leading man in something.
Yeah.
Kind of action type. But you were saying, Auntie Nicole, what were you gonna say?
No. I was going to say the other day, believe it or not, because like I told you, I love Cabin in the Woods. For some reason, it never dawned on me that Josh Whedon had something to do with that. He wrote that, and I found out that they wrote it and then they couldn't bring it to film, so it sat on a shelf for like years, and then they finally brought it, and I was like, that was like a very meta good movie, because it was like a movie making fun of itself, you know what I'm saying, to some degree, of all the scary movie tropes, and everything that we're so used to seeing. And I was like, that was actually impressive. And I guess that might have been the last great thing he did, maybe.
Well, I mean, okay, so we putting a pin in Cowboy Bebop.
Sorry, I mean to sidetrack you guys.
Oh, you're good. Joss Whedon definitely deserves a place in history as someone who brought a fresh take on the sci-fi horror genre. Because fantasy genre, because Buffy for its time was a good show. It hasn't held up, but Buffy was a solid show. He stole a lot of things from Cowboy Bebop to make Firefly, and Firefly was an excellent show, which is why I'm going to give Cowboy Bebop a chance. And he's a prolific writer, but he was just freaky. So he had his quirks, he had his kinks, and like I said before, he came up in an instance where the white man could do those things. And he just happened to get caught up in the whole Me Too thing where people were like, you know what? It's not okay to be creepy around a 15-year-old girl who stars in a television show. It's not okay to tell your pregnant star on one of the shows that you should kill it, meaning her baby. And it's not okay for you to walk around with an iron fist with these shows when these people are working for you, taking advantage of them. But being the nerdy white kid he probably was, he got that power, and he was just like, you know what? I can look at all the underage ass and and fondle my stars on my show as much as I want to. That doesn't take away from his genius. He's still there.
I tell you.
It doesn't take away from the talent that he had. So, God bless him. And he's got a hit show on Netflix now. Or is it HBO? HBO with the Nevers. That show was a hit. But it's funny, they took his name off of it. Before, it was being pushed as Joss
Whedon Project.
Right. But as soon as all that other stuff came down, they snatched his name right off. It's still a Mutant Enemy production, but they're not going to promote it as a Joss Whedon production.
Right.
So, going back to Cowboy Bebop, I'm going to give it a try, Uncle Percy, because I think it will. I like John Cho, like I said. It's just the premise looks pretty interesting.
Where can I watch that? Because I've never even heard of it.
So Cowboy Bebop comes on Adult Swim.
Okay.
You could. I think they have episodes on Netflix.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And the live action one will be coming out either late this year or early next year.
But the other thing good about Cowboy, listen to the music. That jazz, oh my God! Listen to the music from those shows. That music is excellent. Even the intro, I love the intro. Tank, that's the name of the intro. It's called Tank. It's real. Listen, the music.
Yeah, it's a real nice open theme.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. You need to listen to it. It's real nice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that recommendation, Uncle Percy. You all right with me.
I can be all right sometimes, but it's still niggas and flies. Niggas and flies. Niggas and flies.
Oh, goodness.
So, before we go any further down the niggas and flies rabbit hole, Rod's books we should be reading.
All right.
Uncle Rod, Uncle Rod, I gotta ask.
All right.
Have you checked out the new Icon and Rocket?
I have not. Talking about number 2.
Okay.
But before
number 2, no, I have not yet.
Uncle John, before we even go down there, can we just talk about that hardware bullshit that was? Oh my God!
That film.
Yeah, I had to. All I can say is, we can make that movie much better. That's all I gotta say.
Oh man.
So for those of you who don't know,
my God.
Now we talk about Milestone Media and their heroes all the time. Okay. There is a filmmaker called, his name is David Kirkman, and he has taken it upon himself to create these fan films in loving memory of the Milestone line. He made a static film, he made an Icon film, and here recently he has released a hardware film. All of these films, they're short films, no longer than 20 minutes. You can find them on YouTube. At one point, we were going to get him on the show, back in the old show with me and Gus.
I'm glad you did.
Wow.
The issue is, these are low-financed fan films. Mm-hmm. So it is not the writing and the acting and the special effects. If you're expecting Marvel,
better acting,
you're going to get Marvel with a B. It's like the knockoff version of Marvel. It's not even DC quality. It's man. It's
you want to talk about the Flash running?
Oh my gosh.
So I could say
it must be more like Handyman.
Yeah.
Watch his first static film. And what Mr. Kirkman is trying to do basically is create like a whole Milestone universe of films.
Right.
He calls it Dakota City Chronicles. And there are some tweaks to the characters that he has to make so he won't get sued by DC or Milestone for copyright infringement. But I watched the first static film with an open mind because I was excited. I was like, oh, okay, brother decided to go ahead and make these films. Yeah. So
my gosh.
After watching the first one, and I watched the Icon film as well. I did. His heart is in the right place. I will say that. But the film,
he needs some money.
He needs some money. He needs some writers, and he needs some actors. To be very honest, because
it's worse than a B movie, huh?
So he needs everything. Okay.
Look, those movies are worse than Tyler Perry's movies. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's just TV shows.
Oh my God.
Bad acting. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
So the first static film that he did, the actor looked like he was as old as me playing Static, and Static is a teenager. I was just like, no, I can't get that. No, I can't do it. And the Icon film, the special effects, because Icon flies, and it's just like, I understand the theory what you're trying to do, but
like, nah, son.
No. And I saw like 2 minutes of the hardware film. I was like, no, I can't even waste my time watching this whole thing. Percy, did you watch the whole thing?
I watch hardware. That's why I said I have to be high to watch this because I can't.
Oh my gosh.
There's no way in the world I could have got through.
Respect to him though for trying to put it together.
Yeah,
a lot of people wouldn't even touch it.
But come on, man. I mean, come on. I mean,
that's why I don't want to trash him too bad because the brother went out there and pretty much is doing it by himself. And I'm just like, you know what? Good for you. Independent filmmaker out there trying to keep the milestone. Because while Milestone was still in litigation with Dwayne McDuffie's widow and no content was coming out, he was making these films. So he was at least keeping the Milestone name alive. And but he was
running around with characters looking like Blink Man.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, that's
wow.
I'm just trying to understand how bad.
Yeah, it was bad. Hey, if you don't believe me, go to YouTube, go to David Kirkman, check out type in Dakota City Chronicles, and you will see these films, these 3 films by this young filmmaker. And God bless him. Hopefully somebody gets him a budget and some talent evaluators. Yeah.
It's the film school.
Oh, God damn, Percy. Okay, so
John.
What's up?
Roy chimed in. He said if you think that was bad, you should watch this Netflix movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme called The Last Mercenary.
I've seen it. I watched that film.
Yeah, this tastes horrible. Try it.
It's terrible.
Why would
Yeah.
I do that?
There is no shortage of bad films out there for people to watch. Yeah, that movie's bad. That movie, yeah, it's bad. So come on, Rod, give us a book, sir.
All right, real quick, we got Avengers number 47. This is part 2 of World War She-Hulk, where we have once again the Soviet Winter Guard has abducted Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, and taken her to the Red Room. You see the completion of the brainwashing process. The Avengers find her in an abandoned Soviet bunker, looking suspiciously a lot like the bunker that was shown in Civil War, where they were keeping and brainwashing the Winter Soldier. Iron Man and Captain America also make a reference to how they are good at starting wars, the two of them, referencing Civil War and in the comics and from the movies, it seems. She-Hulk gets out and proceeds to wreak havoc in the facility. And the Winter Guard and the Avengers are kind of in the way of her rampage. Interestingly enough, Thor doesn't really appear in this comic, but Mjolnir does. So I don't know what that was all about. But you get also a glimpse of another sub-plan that was being hatched by the Red Widow and somebody else, another mystery participant. We don't know quite who yet, but I'm assuming in the next issue that might be close to being revealed. But overall, it was pretty good. I like the art in it and the writing. I get the writing. I'm kind of cool about how they're showing layer after layer what's going on. But the whole thing overall about She-Hulk, like getting more savage and getting more masculine, I never understood why they did that, but you know, hey, it is what it is. But overall, I say it's a very good issue. Next up is Berserker number 4, the comic done by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kent. This is a continuation of the revealing of the Berserker's history. They show him in prehistoric times with his tribe and him doing his thing against other tribes and his father basically using him. And then it kind of flashes back and forth to modern times and to his time as a young immortal with his family. And we see a little bit of what kind of tragedy drives this man. And it's pretty interesting. One thing that I think is kind of going to upset people, though, once it gets finally revealed, as to how, because he's looking for a way to die. See, he's spent all this time as an immortal, and he actually just wants to die. And he's helping this shadowy government organization and hoping that they will find him and kill him. And I think that what's going to happen is, unfortunately, he won't die, because he's going to need to stay alive to stop this government agency from doing something that they inevitably are not supposed to be doing. But all in all, it's a pretty good issue as well. I'm pretty happy with both of these comics. They're well written, and I'm kind of anxious to see where they're going to lead. And that's it. That was Speed Round.
Fun fact, did you know that the Berserkers were also Vikings that regular Vikings was actually scared of? You always have that faction of any culture. And, the Vikings was already, out there or whatever, with their style or whatever. Right. And to think that they actually had another set of Vikings, they were called Berserkers, and they were scared of. Okay. Right. So yeah, these guys was like the thugs of the Viking culture. Anyway,
they sent them in first when they did their raids.
When they just wanted somebody who just didn't give a
right. Pretty much.
Come on, Nancy Nicole, with the history lesson. You better go ahead, girl.
Sorry.
Pretty much.
That's type of history stuff.
That's good to know. See, you watch this show. It's educational too. It's for the grumpy old nerds. It's for the babies. So
it's for the children.
Yeah. Uncle Percy, any words before we leave this plane of existence right here?
Yeah, where's the DJ?
Only DJ unknown. Can answer that, and he's not here. Yeah. Well, I know that he was working as an extra, and he was an extra for the show Southside. It was on Comedy Central, but it's going to be on HBO Max, second season. Okay. So extra work for him, that would be night work. So I think he's doing some of that. But other than that, DJ's somewhere being DJ. Heaven help those around him.
And Roy's still in the infirmary, or he's out?
No, he's actually here. He's here.
They released him from the infirmary so he can.
Yes, he was allowed to return.
Oh,
he is back in Gen Pop.
Yeah. Okay, back in Gen Pop. That's good.
He didn't turn into a zombie.
This great.
Doesn't want to eat brains and then grow a tail or horn, so he's good.
Glad he's back.
Lord have mercy.
I'll see you for the commissary, Roy. Don't worry about it.
Lord have mercy. Auntie Nicole, any last words?
No, just enjoying this and trying to learn how to cut video. So anybody got some ideas, let the girl know.
So you still got that YouTube channel, right?
Right. I actually just set up like all of my things. By the way, it's going to be called Hydro Betty. I think I told you guys. I don't know if I told you guys already. And it's going to be basically apartment gardening and showing how you can. But honestly, I've been doing this for years. But what even brought me to this point, believe it or not, was COVID. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back and you can't pick up stuff at the store or what have you.
And you said, I can grow some interesting plants in my house. I got you. I got you.
A little extra flavor.
After the show, she's gonna smoke that plant behind her.
Hey, there's a show on Vice.
She is always smiling.
There's a show on Vice called Bong Appetit.
Really?
Where
shut up.
I swear. Chefs are making dishes with marijuana.
Yep.
I mean, if I end up in the state
supposedly
where
they're like
legal
really, really
or
good.
something, maybe I might be coaxed into earning some extra income. But what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm not gonna say anything incriminating. I'm just gonna say watch Bong Appetit on Vice.
But just right now, I'm just trying to understand how to do certain videos. I'm trying to pick out a camera. I think I got one already picked out and such. So I'm trying to put it together so I can start getting some videos up. The initial ones, of course, I'm like with anybody else, they're going to be probably pretty rudimentary type of just, this is what it is. But you know,
but you know what, you're doing it, so that's good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. I'm refining my skill a little bit more now. So you know,
right.
No, that's fantastic. I wish I was botanically inclined, but I ain't growing shit but my toenails. Uncle Rod, any last words?
Everybody stay safe out there. You know, if you can get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's cool. Put on a mask. If you don't want to put on a mask, if you don't want to put on a mask, please stay away from me. And you know, it's funny because you know I was watching a school board meeting down here, and they just had to escort adult parents out of the school board meeting because they didn't want to follow instructions.
And it's awful, isn't it awful? It's absolutely awful.
I didn't hear what you said. School board meeting with adults who apparently can't read very well in science, but I digress. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is that what makes me really upset about this is like, okay, nobody's forcing you to do anything, but respect the fact that you have places that you have to adhere to certain guidelines in order to enter or do anything. Me, myself, I make sure I get tested twice a week because I know I could only take the first shot, for instance. So, and especially with me flying down to Florida to see my daughter, I don't want to infect my daughter or my grandbaby. You know what I'm saying? So I make a point to get tested to ensure that I'm safe around other people at no less. You know
that's
what I'm
common
saying?
sense.
And such. And maybe someday I may be able to get the second shot again, you know what I'm saying, or so on like that until I can get the doctor's okay for that, I might have to stick with just the one. But even with that, I know that I'm still going out. I'm wearing a mask. I'm doing everything I can to ensure that I'm not just safe for myself, but I'm safe for everybody else. And I'm going to adhere to the guidelines of the world when it comes to wearing a mask and things like that. I'll never understand people who want to stand and argue and
with no mask on.
You know what I'm saying? Because
in your face.
All you got to do is wear the mask for the 20 minutes you're grocery shopping. That's all you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's telling you to rearrange your life. Just wear a mask.
Well, the problem is that white people aren't used to being told what to do. So they're just like, you can't make me do anything. And whereas we as people of color,
it's appalling.
Be an old man again. Us colored folk have been fighting for our independence, damn near our entire existence. So
just to not be shot walking out the house. Can you believe it? Yeah.
Mask on or mask off, whatever.
Okay.
Right.
But you want to understand, it's the only time a black man can go in the store with a mask on and won't get shot. So.
It won't get shot. Yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Not right away, anyway.
Iron, anything coming up on the network?
What we got coming on the network?
Somebody wake up strange up.
Next week, we still getting in the groove of things. We got some information for you next week, brother.
Okay.
Good
Sounds
show,
good.
guys. Too.
Prison Break. That's what she do. She do a version of Prison Break.
Infirmary break. There you go.
So we're announcing on the internet we're breaking Roy out of jail.
Yeah, we're gonna do a version
of Prison Break.
Lord have mercy. All right, well, I guess that's a wrap for today for Uncle Percy, Uncle Rod, Uncle Nicole, Iron, Uncle Roy, and Uncle DJ. I am Uncle John. Thank you for joining us this week. For more nonsense, please continue to check us out every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central, where we talk about stuff that just pretty much just pops into our heads. Y'all have a good night, be safe, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everyone.
That boy good. Yeah, that's that boy.